I just can't get away from a good time.
It sets up deep in the pocket. Goes down the field for Smith. Oh, he got it!
This ball is drilled to center field. Pilar at the wall, gets there and hangs on.
Top shelf where mama hides the cookies.
This infield is a great wall of China. Nothing's getting past us. Good D behind you, Bry. Good D all around.
Get the garbage out of here.
He runs to the 50. He runs to the 40. The guy is drunk, but there he goes.
It's not always whether you win or lose. It's whether you're winning or losing.
I guess that's what I'm saying, Brooksy. You get that through your head?
Hello and welcome back to a special playoff preview edition of Sports Chatter with Bax and Patter. I'm your host, Brandon Bax.
And I'm Patrick Reed.
It
is playoffs, Bax.
It is playoffs. We're going to talk NHL playoffs. They have just started tonight. NBA playoffs start up this weekend, so we're going to preview both leagues' playoffs, and we're going to get into some MLB talk. The Blue Jays have started their season and started
not very well.
Quite miserably, I'd say. So we're going to dive into some Blue Jays talk as well. But first, hockey time. Playoffs when we come back.
Da-da-da.
Listen up. We're still in this thing. We just need a quick one. Listen up, Cash! We gotta work harder than them, okay?
What is icing?
Well, icing happen when the puck come down, bang, before the other guys.
Doesn't count unless you go Bardowski.
You gotta go Bardowski, Schmel.
It's knuckle puck time.
Yes, Bax, it is the start of the NHL playoffs, the most wonderful time of the year, I think. It's got some great matchups. Why don't we get her started?
Let's get her started. We want to start in the East, I guess, the game that is just on in front of us here, the Montreal Canadiens and the New York Rangers. They have started their first-round playoff series. Who do you got, and why do you got them in this series?
I have the Rangers taking this one. Carey Price is pretty much the entire Montreal Canadiens team. They've bolstered their defense, but I don't think it's going to keep those scores down from the Rangers there. And on top of that, Montreal can't seem to score worth a lick. So for that reason, I got the Rangers coming out of there.
So you got the Rangers moving on.
They were a better team during the regular season. I think they finished with more points than Montreal, even though Montreal finished first in their respective division.
Yeah, I think they did too. They did have more points. That Metropolitan division is a beast. That is a beast of a division there. But I'm going to go in a little bit of a different direction. I love Carey Price. He can steal you a series, and they have home ice for 7 games.
You goalie, Helger.
So I'm going to go Montreal on this one. I know they have struggles scoring.
Chris Kreider's going to knock them out.
They seem to be able to score when they need to, and they've won games when it comes down to it. Or I've just watched them play against the Leafs too often. But I'm going to go. I'm going to go Montreal in this series. And speaking of the Leafs, before we get into the Leafs Capitals series, I think most people have the Caps beating them, obviously. But we got to talk a little bit about how the Leafs made the playoffs this year.
I think we saw a path for it to happen. I think at the beginning of the season, it was kind of a pessimist's attitude, like, it's going to take a while. But these rookies really turned it on. Mitch Marner, Austin Matthews, obviously, Willie Nylander, Zaitsev, an older rookie there. Definitely, they all turned a corner and really led that team. It's a young team. You do have a few veterans, but they are young veterans. But I think the rookies really took this on and really ran away with it. Austin Matthews finishing with 40 goals, crashing Wendell's record down.
And they really stepped it up when it mattered too. Austin getting that 40th goal was the nail in the coffin against Pittsburgh on that really special Saturday night. They clinched, but I think after that they kind of ran out of gas. They had to go 14-5 down the stretch just to make the playoffs by 1 point. And the game against Columbus,
they really could have used that game.
Yeah, they could have.
Because then they would have played Ottawa and gotten that much more experience.
Everybody saw the light at the end of the tunnel. They got greedy. They thought, wow, it looks like we could actually have a chance in these playoffs. But they looked so tired, and I can't almost even blame them, really.
You know what? It could be a good thing, because we've seen this team time and time again throughout the years get to a certain point in the playoffs and think, and whether through luck or just good fortune, that kind of thing, they think they're better than they are, which, this team is what they are, which gives management the kind of eye openers to see what this team needs as far as future moves and that kind of thing, and to see, we are this good.
Yeah.
We need to get to this good.
Yeah, and Lou even mentioned it even before the playoffs started that he didn't want to make any moves at the deadline to bolster the team because he knew what they were and he wanted the kids to do it themselves.
And I think that's the experience factor you get with Lou and Shanahan and Babcock. I mean, he wants to get the best team available on the ice, but I think having the Lou and Shanahan kind of
running the show.
Exactly, kind of reeling him in because obviously Babcock would want to spend assets to get the best team.
Why not? He's a coach, right?
But it's a long-term play.
Exactly. So getting back to the series, I have Washington winning in 5, I guess. Washington is going to be the better team in this series, experience-wise and scoring-wise.
With a healthy Zaitsev and a fully healthy Anderson, as well as a Pollock, I could have seen them at least stretching this series out. But I mean, without Zaitsev especially, this team is, well, Anderson seems to be okay, but you never know. I mean, it didn't look good.
And Anderson he can steal you some games in the playoffs.
Exactly.
But
I could have seen them making at least a bit more competitive, but I think you're right. Maybe they steal one, but I think the Caps have this. Just the depth in that lineup and the playoff experience. I mean,
the defense they added.
Even Ovechkin having a crappy year, they still managed to be the best team in the entire league. And Braden Holtby, I mean, not enough gets said about this guy.
I was just about to mention Braden Holtby. Yeah, I mean, you look at the goalie the Leafs have, and then you go look at the other end of the ice, and you think, wow, the Leafs have to score 3 or 4 a night at least on Braden Holtby. Like, good luck.
Yeah, well, they did chase him once this year.
They did, but I think in the season series, I think Washington won 3-1 or something like that. But yeah, we have Washington moving on there. Other Canadian action in the first round in the East: Boston, Ottawa.
Boston, Ottawa. I got the Bees taking this one.
I think Boston will take that one as well.
Ottawa's just way too depleted.
Yep.
They're such a run and gun and up and down team. I mean, one week they're super hot and then they just run cold, especially on the scoring front. And without Bobby, like, what the heck happened to Bobby Ryan? You want to talk about Heatley Watch?
Yeah,
what the heck happened to Bobby Ryan?
He might be on a Heatley Watch in the future.
Well, pretty soon. I mean, this guy was unreal with the Ducks, and then he just comes to Ottawa, and he was okay.
Yeah.
But they never had people around him, I don't think, and now he's just, I don't know what it is there. And Carlson, I mean, their owner there, or the GM, is all about, he's perfect, he's 150% ready to go, but I just think he's not doing so hot.
Well, he's probably worn down because they've been missing 3 or 4 defensemen on the weekly
Method
basis.
Is coming back, it looks like. So that's good.
He's glued his finger back on.
Yeah.
So I think we both have Boston moving on. They would go on to play the winner of New York and Montreal. So we'll see how that series fares as well. I mean, Boston, Montreal in the second round would be quite the matchup. Don't you think?
Historic, but with the Rangers, I mean, it's
that's true. Original six.
Matchups.
Yep. And then a series that I am kind of having a tough time deciding, Pittsburgh and Columbus.
Yeah, I got the BJs.
Yeah, I want to go Pittsburgh, just because I don't really know what I'm getting. I don't really know what I'm getting with Columbus.
No, I hear you. I had this. It was a tough decision for me too, but I've got the Blue Jackets. I mean, all season long they've been fairly good. They hit a bit of a skid at the end, I will say that. But you know what? John Tortorella's going to get these guys on track. They've had a little bit of playoff experience. Some of the veterans guys there, Scotty Hartnell, Dubinsky. Dubinsky is a big deal. Like, he frustrates the heck out of Sidney Crosby every time. And I'm a big Sid fan, you know that. But I just think with the injuries the Pens have, Chris Letang is huge going for neck surgery. Poor guy, eh?
Yeah, I know.
He can't catch a break.
He can't catch a break, yet he's won 2 cups.
True enough. And I think the goaltending is going to be suspect there as well. I mean, Matt Murray, he does look like a stud, but you never know. I mean,
this is another year where Fleury has to come in and carry the load.
Save the day, maybe. But no, I think with Bobrovsky and net, Zach Rowinski looks like he's back and in game ready condition. That blue line is real tight, and they can score. Like, these guys can score.
as much as Columbus has, I think that edge in the defensive end factor, and maybe even Bobrovsky as well. I think Pittsburgh still has that firepower, the Malkin, Kessel, Crosby punch that could just score 5 on you in a second. So I'm just for this year, anyways, to see. Because we don't really know.
Hard to repeat.
It really is hard to repeat, but I just don't see Columbus coming out of this series, especially 7 games. You got to beat Sidney Crosby 4 out of 7 times. I just don't see it.
Just do it in 4.
I just do it in 4, exactly. So that's
I don't think it's going to be 4.
So that's our Eastern Conference picks.
I think that one is going 7.
Yeah, I think so too. I think it would for sure go the distance there. We'll keep following these series as they go along.
Should we head to the West?
And we'll head to the West now, and we'll take a look at some Canadian content first. Sharks
and Oilers.
Yeah.
Who you got?
Well, I'm going against my better judgment here. I'm going against the Mac Attack. I'm going San Jose Sharks.
Ooh.
And I'm going to go with Sharks only on the fact that this might be their last gasp, don't you think? With this group, this is their last experienced gasp at
some gray beards.
At a cup, at a long Joe Thornton and Brent Burns beard.
Wow, Brent Burns he'll be along.
Oh, yeah, that's true. But
he's coming to the Leafs.
I would love to see that. I just think I would pick the Oilers any other year. That's not their first year in the playoffs. I just think the Sharks can expose their defense, and goaltending is suspect in Edmonton sometimes. I pick Martin Jones over Cam Talbot.
I got the Oilers.
All right.
Young, fresh blood. Ripping it up. I think these Oilers are going to do some damage. I know a lot of people will have them just getting the playoff experience and that kind of thing. And I told you this just before we started the show. Everybody's saying how you need experience and young guys aren't going to be able to do it and that kind of thing. Look at the Leafs as example. Like, nobody thought that they were going to be able to make the playoffs. One guy, David Naylor.
Yeah.
One guy thought he would make the playoffs. He said even before they got Matthews. I think these guys can do some damage. I think they're going to come out of this. They're young blood. They're fast. I mean, Lucic is a beast in the playoffs. Yeah. When he was on Boston, he's got the experience. He's coming into form. He just had a Hattie the other night. I think these guys can do it.
And I don't think it's too far of a reach to say Edmonton can win the series because you got McDavid, right? You got McDavid. So
Jesus.
So I think that series could also go 6 or 7 as well, just based on those factors of Edmonton and Edmonton's skill and
I mean,
experience.
Joel Thornton's hurt. Logan Couture's hurt. Kind of game time decision type things. I guess we'll see later on tonight if they go. But I mean, the X factor there for me is Brent Burns.
Yeah,
because that guy is an absolute stud.
Exactly, and I don't think Edmonton has anyone dynamically even close to that on the blue line. So, I mean, even the whole in general, they got one guy, but but yeah, no, you know what I mean. So I think we're a bit split on that one, and we're going to go to the other team in Alberta now with Calgary.
Yeah,
taking on the Ducks.
Flames. They need to bring back that horse jersey. I love the horse.
The Flamin' Horse.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
And doesn't it seem like Calgary plays Anaheim in the playoffs almost every year?
They haven't been in the playoffs for a while.
Well, I guess last year they did. But I mean, I'm going Ducks in this series for the pure fact that Calgary hasn't won in Anaheim in what seems like a century, maybe longer. I don't know.
I wanted to go Flames. You talked me out of it, but I wanted to go Flames just because that young blood again. But you know what? Like, if they can't get it done in the regular season in Anaheim, so I mean, the Ducks are getting old, so I can see a path where the Flames could win this, but I mean, like you said, I got to go Ducks.
Mm-hmm.
Quack, quack.
We're both going Ducks on this one then.
Wild and Blues.
All right,
Wild West.
Well, I so want to believe that Minnesota can finally make a run, but I want to say St. Louis is going to win this series. They have the talent on that team still. They've made runs in the past. They still have the goaltending. They still have the veteran leadership. I'm going Blues.
Oh, Grizzle. Yeah. I think the Blues are going to take it too. Minnesota Wild had a great regular season. They've come off the rails near the end here.
They really did.
Poor Bruce Boudreau.
Yeah.
Like, there's a guy, I mean, he's a great coach, but it just can't seem to get her fired up in the playoffs.
At the right time. The right time.
Yeah. Like, I mean, at the beginning of the season, that kind of thing, he's all gung-ho, and then I don't know what happens if his team starts to tune him out or what, but in this one, I got to go Blues as well. I mean, that blue line, like you said, the forwards are dynamic. And then, like you said, they've got that playoff style of hockey, the rough and tumble, but with some skill. I mean, Tarasenko for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And the other series in the West, Hawks and Predators. And again, it seems like these two teams meet almost every year in the playoffs as well.
Yeah.
And the Predators,
Lose
they just
every
can't.
time?
They just
No.
can't get it done.
I mean, you got to go Hawks.
We're both going Hawks here.
Hawks.
Yeah, I mean, they just got the experience. I think we both have them winning the cup, or at least close coming to winning the cup.
Every year, these Hawks, they find somebody out of nowhere. I mean, these rookies that just come up. It's such a great system. Like, it seems like every other year they're winning the cup kind of thing. So
on the back of a different guy like Panarin or someone random like that.
The bread man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we both got Hawks in this one.
Not to mention Old Man Hossa.
Old Man Marian Hossa, yeah.
Did you know the GM at the time traded Marian Hossa to the Thrashers for Danny Healy because he said Hossa wasn't a great playoff performer. Danny Healy at the time had no playoff experience.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
So aside from the playoffs starting, we got some other notes and news here on the NHL. The Kings have fired their coach and GM, Sutter and Lombardi.
So I guess they call it Black Monday in the NHL. You know, the Monday after the season ends, everybody gets the axe.
I guess so. I don't see this as Sutter's fault. I mean, a coach does have a shelf life, but Quick went down, and you can only play with the players that you're given kind of thing. This is on Lombardi, I think. He's too loyal to players. Richards' contract was terrible. They should have bought him out. Gabbard contract is not great. Brown, they had to strip the captaincy from him. He's making too much for what he is. He's a third-line player at best. And then the Kobe contract, I mean, he just fell off a cliff out of nowhere after signing that. What, he's a $10 million?
10 million or a little more than that, I think.
Yeah, 10.5. I think he got the Kaner contract, didn't he?
It's interesting. It's interesting. I didn't think that either guy in LA should really have been fired for this season, but I mean, it's every other year, every third year, the Kings seem to make a run, and I think this group's finally tired out.
Yeah,
you know?
I think Lombardi, I think that needed a change, and the coach kind of, you want the GM, the next GM, he's going to hire his own coach anyway, so I can see where they're coming like that.
But this team's going to have to rebuild then. If they're getting a whole new GM, a whole new coach, they might tear her down.
Well, it's, like I said, it sounds, I was talking to you about this the other day, it sounds like Drew Doughty might be on the market, which would be huge. He's got, I think, 2 years left on his deal. 2019 is when he comes off the books there. He's only 25 years old or so.
I wonder what they would ask for him. Because that's an interesting kind of play for teams that need D, and I'm looking at one Toronto Maple Leafs.
Well, they've been trading away draft picks like crazy. The Kings have.
Yeah.
I mean, he is a solid, like a stud D man.
That would be a guy to play beside a Jake Gardiner.
And the age ain't bad either.
Yeah.
Like I said, is he 25? He could be 20.
Maybe a little bit older than 25. Yeah,
maybe?
he seems like he's been around forever.
That's true. But I mean, he was a rookie. He came right out.
Exactly.
He was. What draft was he? Wasn't he in the Taves draft?
I think so.
So 28, 29 maybe?
Yeah. So, I mean, he's still got shelf life, and he's still going to have one more big contract in him. But it'll be interesting to see if they pull the trigger. If they get rid of Doughty, I mean, there's going to be a fair amount of players that are on the move there.
Absolutely. And you know who else you might be able to pry out of there if they are getting rid of, doing a fire sale kind of thing? Jake Muzzin.
Yeah.
This guy's quietly a stud from Woodstock, Ontario, just down the road.
Well, if you're looking at Muzzin, then you might as well look at Pearson. You might as well look at all the young, decent players on that team.
I don't think they'd get rid of Pearson.
Yeah.
Just because he is young. I think he's only 22 or 23.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
But I mean, yeah.
You never know. I mean, now they got to look for a coach too. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, there's a couple good ones on the market. While one less after today, Hitchcock was hired back in Dallas.
That's interesting. That's an interesting move.
Nothing wrong with that.
Was he looking for work?
Was he looking
for work? Do you think he wanted to coach?
I don't think he's done yet.
You don't think he's done yet?
I think he was just done in St. Louis.
They were talking about having him coach for Team Canada. If the NHLers didn't go because he was on the market, right? But now he can because he's a pro again.
Oh, right.
Because he's a coach in Dallas. But I mean, like he was.
I thought you meant with the World Championships coming up.
Oh no, for the Olympics. Sorry, for the Olympics in 2018.
Well, why wouldn't you do that? Oh, duh. If the NHL wasn't going,
the NHL's not going,
which they apparently aren't, but I don't think that book is closed yet.
Yeah, we'll see about that.
Other firings: Van City fired Willie Desjardins.
Not too surprised there.
No.
Vancouver sucked.
Yeah. Well,
they
and they don't know what they're
anyways.
doing.
Yeah.
They don't know what they're doing. They're half in and half out.
Yeah.
The Sedins are old, and you kind of just have to ride that contract out till they retire.
Exactly.
I mean, it's like Shane Doan down in Phoenix there, only more expensive. Desjardins never really struck me as a fantastic coach.
Yeah.
I mean, he just seemed to be a guy. I don't know if he's going to get picked up anywhere, but you never know. Florida, they've got Talon back.
Dave Talon comes back in.
What a bizarre situation.
It's crazy.
I mean, it's good. I like Dale Talon. He got them 105 points last year with the players he put in place, along with Gerard Gallant.
So when I look at the playoffs in the East, first off, because we know that Florida was a contender for the playoffs again this year.
Yeah.
When you look at the playoff, you look at the 8 teams that made it.
Yeah.
7 of them, you would say, yep, those 7 are in for sure, right?
Yeah.
The 8th only being the Leafs.
Yeah.
Tampa Bay should have been a playoff team.
You think so?
Florida probably should have been a playoff team. Yeah. And the Islanders were right there as well.
Yeah.
So it's like there is a jumble for that last spot.
Yeah.
That, I mean, there's 3 teams that are on the outside looking in that could have made it, and Florida was one of them.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they just got unlucky with the injuries this year. And, I mean, even next year, I still see... I mean, I don't see Toronto falling back. I don't see a lot of these other teams, falling back. It's going to be a real tight race, especially in that in both divisions, I guess.
Yeah.
Because they're both so tight. So it'll be interesting to see.
Yeah. And Doug Waite was firmed up as the official head coach of the Islanders, which I mean, that's an interesting and spicy meatball with John Tavares' contract coming up at the end of next year.
Yeah. And that's
and he says he wants to get something done this summer, whether it's a trade or a sign.
How much a sign and trade?
Yeah.
Yeah. So how much?
Or like re-upping.
Re-upping, yeah. Because I was going to say, how much do you think he wants to leave now, or how much do you think Leaf fans would want John Tavares now? Not probably as much as
you
they
know what?
would.
Why the heck not?
You can add to the team, I guess. But
yeah.
I mean, like now you're looking
the guys are on rookie contracts right now. Why?
Yeah.
I mean.
For only 2 more years now, but
the center position is fairly strong with especially if they can re-sign Boyle, which I think they'll probably be able to do.
They have 4
and they just need the defense.
Yeah.
And again, we come back to the Leafs because Back's a huge Leafer.
And then Doughty, potentially on the market that we were just talking about. Any other NHL notes there?
No, that's all I got right now.
Well, I think we're going to skip over from one playoff preview to another playoff preview, which is starting up in a couple days here, the NBA playoffs. Today is the last season of the last day of the season in the NBA, and we'll talk some basketball after this.
We're talking basketball.
Don't travel, don't double dribble. I want a good clean game and no back talk.
I figured since I'm going to be like Mike, I might as well dress like Mike, you know.
Lowry, half-court heave, a prayer at the buzzer. Oh!
Yeah, stop hogging it, Mike. We're your teammates.
How do you intend to match up to the Squire's strong inside game?
It's a great question. Tomorrow, after the game, Jackie Moon, will wrestle a bear.
Welcome back to the show. It is NBA playoff talk time, and we're looking at a bracket right now. Everything is pretty much set in stone. All the teams are finishing up their seasons tonight, and a couple spots still to be determined. But one thing we do know, the Raptors, they're locked in as a 3 seed. They're going to be playing the Milwaukee Bucks in the first round.
The Bucks.
Them Bucks.
I think they win that series.
I think they win the series too. I think it might actually
could even be a sweep.
It could be the easiest series. I don't want to say anything crazy here, but it could be the easiest playoff series they've had in a long time.
Yeah.
I mean, I see them winning in 4, maybe 5 games.
Yeah.
Just with the team they have right now and the firepower and playoff experience now, we can finally say, holy cow.
Absolutely.
The Raptors are
and the Bucks pretty much are on the back of the Greek Freak, and he's just a rookie. This is his first playoffs, and I know I've preached rookies being able to contribute and everything like that, but, I mean, in the NBA, one guy can make a huge difference, but I just think the Raps' firepower is going to overpower that.
Exactly. So the only thing to be determined then is, I guess, second round matchups, and a lot based on tonight's games. If Boston loses and the Cavaliers win, Cleveland gets that first seed, which means we avoid them in that second round, which is so crucial. The Raptors play the Cavaliers tonight, and some people are sitting, some people are not playing.
Some people are standing.
Some people are standing. Who knows what's going to happen tonight?
Not me.
No,
I don't know.
Yeah.
But I know if it ends up with the Cavs and Raps in the second round, the Cavs they've got that.
Yeah, I think I want the Raptors to push it, and they can push it even further with this team. It's just,
I think they could push it to 7 though this year.
It's just going to be unfortunate for this team and this whole season to go down, another 50-win season for the Raptors to go maybe down in the second round. You know, like that doesn't seem like it's quite as an accomplishment. You know, I mean, I know you'd have to beat the Cavs at some point if you want to make the finals, so why not just do it now? But I mean, I just feel like losing in that conference finals it gives you that much more exposure, like it gives you more experience. But I mean, we're writing them off before they even get there. I mean, they might win this series. Who knows? Something might happen to LeBron, but it's his world. We're living in it right now.
The one thing you got to say is the East is getting better.
Yeah,
the East is getting better, and the Raps need to stay on top of it. I mean, they absolutely have to find a way to re-sign Serge Ibaka.
I think that's in the cards too.
Yeah,
I think,
absolutely.
Messiah has stated that he wants to sign him. Yeah.
Well, he better.
Yeah. And Lowry is the other key component too. Can you get by without Lowry? And we've discussed this on the program before too. Can you get by with Joseph and DeLon Wright combo?
And I think you can.
I think you can too. I mean, especially if you got to use that money to throw at Ibaka.
Exactly, and if you can, I mean, even Tucker's been. I mean, he provides that defense, the tenacious defense, the junkyard dog.
Yeah,
defense.
exactly. Or get rid of JV. Get rid of JV and use that money to throw out Lowry or Tucker or whoever, But we'll see. We'll see what happens. That's the off-season talk. We're still talking playoffs here. Let's go to another few matchups in the East here. Cavs and Pacers.
Yeah, Cavs.
That's what it looks like. It's going to be in the first round there. Cavs, Pacers. So Cavs, we can take them.
Washington Hawks. I got Washington.
That's more of a toss-up series to me too. I think Washington, the way they played down the stretch, Washington for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the only series that hasn't been decided as official yet is Boston versus Chicago or Miami.
Yeah, and I mean Boston. That's the 1-8. I mean, the basketball, the first round is super easy. Just pick the higher seed and pretty much.
But can you imagine if they? I mean, Chicago always gives us fits, and Miami's playing well right now. Can you imagine if Miami knocked off
the Miami
Boston?
Heat? Actually, the owner came out and said, "Oh, don't worry about whatever people did. The 33-11 to end the season was great accomplishment." He's packed in the towel essentially.
But that's great. I mean, they, like you just said, 33-11 down the stretch. Yeah. Miami, they could push the Celtics.
Try to do that in the first part of the season, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe go 66-22 or 60-22.
Then you're looking at a legendary team right there, maybe like the Warriors. So yeah, I mean, I'd love to see Boston lose, and then we at least have a chance. That's not going to happen though. But we'll see.
Like 1 versus 8, I don't think has ever happened in the NBA.
Really?
Where 8 seeds won.
That's an interesting stat.
So.
We should look that up.
You should. You Google that.
Speaking of another 1 versus 8.
Yeah, Golden State obviously versus the Blazers, as it stands now. Clippers versus Jazz. Got the Clippers.
San Antonio Spurs and Memphis. Memphis Spurs. Actually, Spurs for sure, but Memphis kind of surprised people this year on how good they were. So that might be a more of a closer series.
I was surprised they were in the playoffs.
Yeah. Oh, you were surprised they're in the playoffs?
Yeah.
You were surprised they're that good?
I went to look at the bracket, and I was like, oh, Memphis. I forgot they were in the league.
And this is kind of an interesting one you've got down here. You've got the Rockets
I was surprised
and the
by
Thunder.
The Jazz, too. Where the heck did they
Jazz,
come from?
yeah, no, they're pretty good this year, too, out of nowhere. I got Rockets over the Thunder.
See, yeah, I got Thunder.
You got the triple-double machine, but he doesn't got a team around him.
No.
You've got James Harden and a team.
I just think that Russ Westbrook wants it more. I don't think he cares if he's got a team at all. He'll just play 1 versus 6.
So 1 versus 5. so I'll go out on a limb here and say this is going to be the most entertaining series of all of them in the first round.
Absolutely, I'm going to say that as well.
And I'd say 6 or 7 games.
Yeah,
that would be amazing. Yeah. That's great TV right there.
Absolutely, made for TV. And I think this is going to determine the MVP there.
Yep, I think so.
Because it's between those two guys.
It is. It really is. They both had incredible seasons, triple-double after triple-double, and, I mean, Harden is just ridiculous in the assists and the points that he gets. So,
and the beard. Have you seen him without a beard?
I've never seen him.
He looks ridiculous. There's a picture floating around.
I wouldn't recognize James Harden without a beard.
He just looks ridiculous. And, no wonder he has a beard all the time.
It's interesting, yeah. Well, fear the beard.
Fear the beard.
We'll continue to watch these playoff matchups as they unfold. I think the playoffs start for the Raptors on Saturday. I think the playoffs overall start on
this weekend. I believe.
Yeah, start this weekend. So
Saturday, I think is
Saturday.
The first day.
So yeah, we'll keep watching that and keep watching the Raptors in the playoffs as well. Other NBA notes?
Tony Romo Day.
I mean,
Love it.
and you think that we'd be talking NFL when you talk Tony Romo, but no, basketball?
Yeah, absolutely. The Mavericks, the owner, Mark Cuban, signed him to I believe it was a 10-day contract. He wanted to.
Jeez, I thought it was a 1-day.
No, Silver wouldn't approve it. Yeah, he wanted to actually let Tony Romo play in the game.
That shows how far Dallas has fallen.
Well, Silver put the kibosh on that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess Tony Romo, he was all-state in high school.
And I saw a picture of Tony Romo with the Dallas Mavericks on their picture day.
Yeah.
So that's kind of funny.
Yeah.
How he's in on the end of the
Well,
bench
he took warm-up. He was making layups, all kind. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and the coach actually tried to put him in, and Cuban put the
kibosh on that.
Well, I guess he asked Adam Silver how much the fine was going to be, and he decided he didn't want to pay that much.
Gotta love Mark Cuban.
And not much of you gotta love Mark Cuban. He's just such a fanboy. Like, I love it. He wants to be so part of the team.
Yeah,
and I mean, awesome. I know a lot of people that hate him, but I don't know. I think he's a beauty. He's a player's manager, player's owner, that kind of thing. He's at pretty much every game.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's interesting that Tony Romo.
He's getting old though.
Yeah.
I saw him doing an interview about the whole Tony Romo thing. I was like, dude, throw a little sunscreen on. You're getting.
Well, he does live in Dallas.
Well, yeah.
We'll talk a little more about Tony Romo in our news and notes. We got some info on him and his new career coming up here. But before we move on,
well, I think he's going to knock it out of the park.
Yeah. Before we move on to that, that was a perfect segue to our MLB segment.
Thank you.
The playoffs. The season has started for MLB, and the Blue Jays are.
I just want the Jays to win a game.
Yeah, I mean, let's just get them to win a game first before we get a little serious about them.
Playoffs?
Maybe not. Maybe not for the Jays this year. We'll see though. MLB talk is coming up next.
Hitting is not about muscle. It's simple physics.
Do you drug test the players?
No. On into the windup in his first offering. Just a bit outside.
You stink, Strawberry! We want home run homer! Daryl. Hey, Yankees! You can take your apology out of your trophy and shove it straight up your ass!
Yes, Bax, you are wearing your Toronto Blue Jays t-shirt right now.
Sure am.
A Brett Lowry shirt. Yeah, not doing so hot.
Worst start in franchise history. I guess it's kind of crazy to say that because it is only 1-6, but worst start in franchise history.
It is the worst start in franchise history, and I mean, I'm not panicking, but I am concerned. And
I'm a little bit concerned just about.
I don't want to hear it's early. I don't want to hear.
And I was going to say it's early, but I'll come at it from a different approach. What is different between a team going 1-6 in the middle of the season or going 1-6 to start the season? Would people panic as much in the middle of the season if you have a 1-6 stretch, or do you panic more at the beginning of the year?
You panic more at the beginning of the year.
Yeah. Why? But why though?
Because
it's a bad week. It's one bad week.
Well, exactly. But who knows? You want to have a good start, so you can get rolling, so that you can float those bad times that you know are coming. And because this team has suffered so much in the last year, like so many changes with Eddie being gone and that kind and that type of thing, and you want the pride of this team is the pitching.
Yeah.
Pitching hasn't been great. And only two people have really hit, and that's Donaldson and Morales. Donaldson in tonight with the DH, though, back off his calf injury. Which,
that's good.
I mean, I told you, I don't think he's on this team next year.
Donaldson, yeah, you did say that, and you're sticking by it.
I'm sticking by it.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that Morales so far is having a better year than Edwin. Edwin's hitting like 150. Morales is crushing the ball. Did you not see
last night? Guy was unreal.
Well, he's still hitting 150.
I mean, he's career slow starter.
Yeah.
All these guys are career starters.
The
apparently.
whole team is a slow starter.
But you gotta question management on that. Then, if these guys are like, change something up. These guys were saying, no, I don't want to play certain spring training games, which is where you get your reps in and everything like that. No, you're a player. I'm the manager. You do what I tell you to do.
So they didn't want to play those games, I think, because a lot of them were involved in that World Baseball Classic. This was a weird spring training for them. They had to have an extra long spring training because of the Baseball Classic. Players could only play certain games before they had to ship off with their countries.
You know the one guy who played in pretty much every spring training game?
Who?
Morales.
Yeah, and look what he's doing.
Look what he's doing.
Yeah.
So you're telling me that Jose Bautista wouldn't have benefited?
So I
from
would
playing a
love
few
to have
extra
seen them
games
playing a few
instead
extra.
of going up and scratching his name himself, scratching his name off of
I think
playing from a game. No, that's not your decision. That's manager's decision.
So that manager, then you got to remember who the manager is.
But it didn't have
It's John Gibbons.
I love John Gibbons.
He's a player's manager.
He is a player's manager.
He's a player's manager. He's going to let the guys, because they're all veterans, he's going to let them pretty much do what they want. He sets the lineup. He brings the bullpen guys in. He keeps the house mellow. But in terms of ruffle and feathers, he's not going to do it. He's not gonna.
Well, these Blue Jays need some feathers ruffled.
Well, right now it seems like it, but I think that you give it a few more weeks. You even just wait until May and look and see where this team's at. Then we can start to panic. I think the pitching is just fine so far, other than Liriano's shaky first game. I think that the pitching is gonna be
Stroman's
just
the only
fine.
one with a win.
Yeah, but I mean, like, their ERAs are good.
Tonight.
Osuna's finally back, so I mean, like, the bullpen should be shaping up now.
Yeah, you kind of get everybody back.
It's just the hitting back. It's the hitting and the hitting with runners in scoring position. I hate how people go on the radio.
Hey, wasn't that their problem last year?
Yeah, it was their problem last year. And look, they still made the playoffs somehow, not being able to hit with runners in scoring position,
which is terrible.
Why can they do that? Because they can hit home runs.
Last night combined, except for Osuna or just Morales and Tulowitzki. 0 for 24.
So that's
10 strikeouts.
So that is unacceptable.
No.
Unacceptable hitting at any point in the season, I'd say.
Absolutely not.
And they have to get it going, plain and simple. But I mean, look at them. Let's look at them in May and see if they're still struggling this bad offensively. Then you've got to do something for this season, anyways, or else this season's going to go downhill pretty quick.
Fire sale.
Well, I mean, do you think Shapiro would do a fire sale this season?
I think he'd love to.
I mean,
I think that's what they're here for.
Well, you think you want? I mean, how quickly would you rebuild trading away Bautista, Donaldson, Tulowitzki? Like, you would rebuild so fast.
Yeah.
The prospects, capital,
Well,
they will be able to get in.
I don't think you're getting anything for Jose Bautista. Nobody wanted to sign him.
Yeah. Well, I think you'd be able to get something for him before. I mean, that's a great ad. That's a great ad. That's a great ad before the playoffs. Yeah. But we're getting way ahead of ourselves again. This is the first week of the season. Let's remember that.
Yeah. Other stuff from around the league. Will Myers, what a beauty. Hit a cycle.
Hit for the cycle. Yeah.
Second cycle all time for the Padres franchise. I almost picked him up in fantasy, too. I'm kicking myself now. I was watching.
I think I had him in fantasy one year, too. He's a guy who just likes to hit. He just likes to, hit line drives, right?
Solid.
So that's how you hit for the cycle, so
Absolutely.
Good on him.
You know what? Maybe the Jays should look at him.
They
need guys to get on base.
I would love him in our outfield.
Speaking of people in the outfield, sounds like Upton Jr., BJ, as we like to call him, has signed a minor league deal with the Giants.
So he's going to go play for the Giants minor league system, but he wouldn't play for our minor league system.
No, that's insulting. He doesn't want to go to Buffalo. He'd rather be in San Francisco.
I guess so, but is the San Francisco's minor league team in San Francisco?
Probably is somewhere in the south.
Probably, yeah. It's probably nicer than Buffalo.
Yeah.
Well, good on him. Maybe we'll see him in the majors again, but he just wasn't cutting it for us. He was not the same player when he was traded over here. So
he was the same player.
Well,
That's why they only played him $2 million out of the $17 million he was supposed to make.
Like he is not what he showed in Tampa or what he showed in Detroit, because he was a better player than that. Yeah. He just never showed it here, and he never really showed it in San Diego.
No.
So we kind of gambled on him. He was
like
good
I
depth
said,
in the playoffs.
he's still following through on a swing he did last fall.
Yeah, he's swinging at everything. That's for sure.
Right on. All I got for MLB. You got anything?
I think that's pretty much it. Season's just started, so we're gonna keep
track to the ground.
Gonna keep track of all these teams and any major injuries or any major stories that come up. We're gonna follow them, including the Blue Jays and their slow start. Let's move on to the injury report, as we just kind of talked about there, and we'll take a look at those after this.
Oh, look at that! Oh my goodness! They just dropped the stretcher. Oh my goodness!
I think I will.
And again, I have no idea what that is.
That's what you want to know?
Your manager said you were sick.
Yeah, I had a diarrhea.
It's injury report time.
Yeah, we're going to go heavy on the hockey just because that is most pertinent right now. And there's not too many injuries right now in the NBA.
Or baseball, really.
Well, yeah, I mean, your regular guy blew out his arm kind of thing.
Yeah.
Big one for your Leafs, Zaitsev.
He has been ruled out for Game 1 against the Washington Capitals tomorrow night, but looks like he's going to be reevaluated and hopefully will play in Game 2.
Yeah, they're saying upper body injury. Looks like a concussion to me.
Wow,
He did not look good.
What a crappy time to get a concussion too. I mean, this guy's been he's been a stud all year, and he's played almost every game this year.
Well, and he just bolsters that lineup. Like he
really
makes
does.
people fit better in your lineup. I mean, he was on the top pairing with Gardner there, and that worked out real well. It just means Marty Marinson's in the lineup, and you never want to see that.
No, I mean, and it's crazy that we're saying, well, the team's going to miss Nikita Zaitsev, but now he is that good.
Yeah.
Enough where we're going to feel that impact.
Yeah.
So.
4 years at $5 million, good.
Yeah.
Or 5 years at $5 million.
They still haven't signed that, have they? They keep talking about it. Everybody keeps talking about it like it's a done deal. But, anyways, we move on.
Yeah, the San Jose Sharks that we talked about, they are missing Joe Thornton. He's a game-time decision, lower body injury. And Logan Couture is still out with his face contusion. Not sure if he's going to play or not either.
You think that would be more of an injury you could play through, especially in the playoffs?
Yeah, you never know.
Throw a cage on and get out there.
You don't know. Max Patre, he is playing tonight, but he doesn't look 100%. We saw in a couple of replays there. I don't know.
Yeah, he's looking a little rough out there right now, a little slower. He's gotten hit hard a few times.
Absolutely. So. Fowler is out for Anaheim. Still problems with his knee.
He really bolsters that team's speed on the defensive end there. But they're still playing Calgary. I still think they win that series, even without Cam Fowler.
Me too. Torrey Krug could be big, missing for Boston there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How long is he looking at?
Day to day.
Day to day right now, so he could be back hopefully in a couple of games for them.
And of course, Chris Letang is out indefinitely for the Pittsburgh Penguins.
He'll be having his surgery probably pretty soon.
Hopefully.
So 4 to 6 months.
And all the best to him.
Yeah, 4 to 6 months. So hopefully he's back
been through a lot.
Hopefully back for next season. But
stroke.
Yeah.
Oof.
He's been through the ringer and back, and yet he was
so good for them in last year's playoffs.
He's still come through, like we said earlier, with a bunch of cups. So we'll keep an eye on Chris Letang, and if there's any surgery
and we will let you know when Chris Kreider runs over Carey Price, giving him a concussion.
Yeah.
We'll let you know.
I think there'll be a lot more retaliation if that were to happen in this series again.
Well, instead of PK Subban, you've got Shea Weber, and
nobody wants to see that.
The hammer of Thor.
Exactly. When we come back, we're going to get into some Heatley Watch.
Where'd he go?
After this.
Okay, it's time for the easiest part of any coach's job. The cuts.
Danny Healy, I'm a slump, I'm an all-star, so.
Who was that?
That's right! Who do you think you are? I am!
You tried your best, and you failed miserably. The lesson is, never try.
Now, who are you again?
Yes, it is the Heatley Watch. Second time in the show we brought him up. And and guess what? We brought him up for this guy's brother, Marcel Hossa.
Yeah, Marian Hossa's little brother.
Little bro. He was drafted 16th overall by the Montreal Canadiens. We're going with a playoff theme this year. In 2000, which was a terrible draft all over. He was traded to the Rangers in 05-06 after the lockout there.
Most people would remember him playing for the Rangers, I think, too.
I think so, yeah. He never played a full season. I think the most games he played was 54 through injuries and just lack of ability. And then he did well.
This is a segment about lack of ability, so.
Yeah, absolutely. He went to Phoenix in 07-08, played 14 games with them, so he made a huge impact.
In the
Zero.
And where is he now, Patrick?
Well, his total games played in the NHL was 237 games. How many points?
30?
30 goals, or 30 assists and 31 goals.
30 assists and 31 goals.
So
I knew a 30
total
was in there somewhere.
237 games. He went on to have an actually illustrious career in the KHL and the Czech League. He is currently playing in right now, which is his homeland.
So
good for him.
So he could play for the Olympic team.
He could play for the Olympic team. I don't think he will.
Marcel Hossa, 2018 Russian team.
Absolutely.
Let's get the Twitter chatter started about
that. No,
that.
he's Czech.
Czech Republic, sorry. but playing in the KHL. So yeah, so he could play.
He's
in
playing in Czech League. Do you not listen when I talk?
He was sent.
He went to the KHL.
And
now he's playing in the Czech League.
And now he plays in the Czech League. I see.
Now we're all caught up.
And now we're all caught up on the Heatley watch.
The notable one who was drafted after him, and there wasn't too many. I mean, some bit players that had good careers, Mike Rupp, that kind of thing, but the most notable was Nicholas Kronwall, picked 13 picks later at 29th overall.
And of course he was by the Detroit Red Wings.
Absolutely.
So. When we come back, we'll get into our GOATs. It's GOAT time after this.
So what you're saying is, we're at this level, but we got to get to this level.
I told you all that I was the greatest of all time.
A cool dude, a good teammate, good attitude about things, probably get some chicks.
This is the GOAT segment, the greatest of all time, at least for this week. Who you got this week, Bax?
Well, I got a golfer that has yet to win a major until this week, Sergio Garcia.
Ooh.
He started off his pro golf career anyways in 1999, and 74 majors he played in before he finally won one. He won the Masters this weekend in Georgia.
Nice. Yeah.
So good on Sergio Garcia.
You know what? That was a great ending. I don't know if you caught the last half, the last 9 holes. I mean, it was huge.
In the playoffs then.
Absolutely, the playoff.
And the putting. The putting that he had to make. I mean, he must have been so haunted by all those misses, all those other majors, all those other times that he blew it. You blew it.
Absolutely.
Well, he didn't blow it this time.
No, he was
Sergio
right
Garcia
there.
is a Masters champion. He's got a green jacket now.
Absolutely.
So congratulations.
And getting married, too.
Yeah, so there you go.
Good for him. My GOAT for the week is Connor McDavid. Mick Jesus.
Well,
Art Ross this year, only player to get 100 points. He's a beauty.
Absolute beauty,
I bet he gets some chicks.
Is he going to lead his team to victory in the playoffs, though? And
Yeah,
we've
he is.
debated
First
this.
round.
We shall see
He's
against
gonna.
the San Jose Sharks.
Yeah.
When we come back, we are
Lucic
gonna.
is gonna bust Burns' face in, and then we're good to go.
Oh my goodness! After that graphic tale there, I mean, we're gonna clean this show up now. After all this graphicness we're just talking about here, the cleanup segment. That's coming up next.
Clean up on aisle 4.
Clean up on aisle 3.
But we're going to need a cleanup on aisle 3.
Clean up on aisle 3. I got it.
Testosterone spill on aisle 4.
Clean up in all the aisles.
Well, Bax, grab yourself a mop because we are cleaning up the show. News and newts from around the sports world.
News and newts.
News and newts.
We'll start in New England since we haven't really talked much football the last few weeks.
We haven't?
Well, it's not really anything going on, I'd say.
Well, this could be big.
Richard Sherman, the Patriots are interested in him.
Yeah, why not?
Classic
Pats.
Classic cornerback that's could maybe be...
well, you put sorry-ass receiver like Crabtree on him.
And you get some picks. I mean, I think he fits the mold in New England. And Brady will take another $1 million pay cut to get him in there. So, I mean, might as well, right?
Yeah, why not, eh? The only thing about him is, will his attitude fit the room?
Yeah, that would be
kind
an
of a
interesting
neat
one.
player.
Bill Belichick will drive that out of any player, I'd say.
Well, does he even want to deal with it?
Oh, I don't know.
I guess so. Talent, right? Talent wins out.
Talent wins out, but I mean, if you're going to be acting ridiculously in that dressing room,
I think
Belichick will give him the boot.
Yeah, I think you get your arse beat.
More football news. Tony Romo has officially retired from the NFL, ending speculation that he would go to your Denver Broncos, Houston Texans, or any other NFL team looking for a very brittle quarterback.
Well,
I'm glad that he retired.
I think this opens the door for our buddy Johnny.
I think it does. Johnny Manziel maybe coming back. But Tony is
broadcast. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah, he's going to be the feature color guy on CBS. That's a coveted job. Phil Simms probably hates his life right now because Tony took his job.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Brad Gushue, undefeated in the Worlds. What a beauty.
Crazy.
All year?
Was it all year?
No,
I thought he had just in the tournament.
Oh.
Okay. I mean, he's won a lot of games this year, so I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, he always is. He's always in that top.
Exactly.
Sergio Garcia, we mentioned in your
GOAT.
Bob Probert, this guy, notorious tough guy for the Detroit Red Wings. This is nice. I like this. His ashes have been scattered in the Joe Louis penalty box. Yeah, that's nice little touch by them guys over there before the Joe gets
officially taken down.
I mean, he was a fantastic Red Wing.
Yeah. Good for him and good for his ashes.
Yeah, absolutely. CFL, the commissioner Jeffrey Orge is stepping down.
This is kind of a surprise to me. Yeah. I thought that he was doing kind of a pretty decent job in the CFL.
Yeah. Who knows where he's going to go now?
Yeah, I'm not sure. But
NFL.
NFL
came calling.
And who knows who's going to replace his job? We'll have to. Well,
nobody knows.
Nobody knows. Yeah. We'll have to keep our eye on that to see when they'll make an announcement on that from the CFL.
Absolutely.
The TFC, they're still undefeated on their season. They had a 2-2.
Undefeated is loosely putting it.
Yeah, they have not lost a game in regulation.
Yeah.
They have tied a bunch of games and they won a game.
Yeah.
They tied Atlanta FC, a new.
Which you should have won that game.
I think so.
It's an expansion team.
I think so. Yeah, the very first year in the league for Atlanta. They tied them 2-2 at BMO this weekend.
Atlanta.
At least you got Juvinko on the scoreboard, and the offense is clicking. Their goaltender did go down though, so they have a backup goalie in right now. But the defense, I'm surprised they're not as good yet. But they'll come around.
I know nothing about soccer, so you're just.
This defense will come around. I will say that. But TFC still.
You tell me, and I'll let you know.
They're still getting points, is what I'm saying.
Absolutely. And another note from the NHL world: sounds like the Golden Knights are firming up a deal to name Gerard Gallant as their coach. Should be a presser tomorrow.
Interesting. Yeah. So the Golden Knights are starting to take some.
Well, they got one player.
They got one player, and now they may have one coach.
Maybe.
So we'll continue to follow.
Yeah, I can't wait to get those lists out of
expansion draft.
Yeah, the players that are protected and not protected, and we're gonna make our teams.
We're gonna make our teams for the Golden Knights.
My team's gonna beat your team.
So that's it for the show this week. That's Sports Chatter. We're going to continue following the playoffs, NHL and NBA wise, as they go along here, and continue to follow the MLB, obviously. Enjoy the playoffs, and we'll see you right back here next week for more Sports Chatter with Bax and Patter.
Have a good one.
Good job.
I thought he was okay. Just okay.
It's not good, eh?
Terrible.
Screw you guys. I'm going home.